Yeah, welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Dynastyers podcast. I am one of the hosts of the Dynastyers podcast, but your only host for this episode today, Kung Fu Cape, aka Darius Capers. You know me as Kung Fu Cape on the Twitch, so please give me a follow on that. Please do me a favor and subscribe, follow to us at the Dynastyers podcast you see in the corner of the screen. Please do us that favor. Also, shout out to our partners at the Capers Cares Foundation. Please give them a follow as well. You see them scrolling on the bottom on Instagram. They are a partner that we work closely with. They are doing a lot in the community for the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area. Please follow them on Instagram and tap in. Like I mentioned, though, man, today I'm coming with this episode by myself. We got the other guys who had some things to get done this week, so it is just me alone. But we still got to bring y'all the information on week 7 of the NFL season and a lot of other sports content, man. You guys will be surprised. It has been a big last few days in sports. So let's get into it. Starting off first and foremost, we have to talk about week 7 NFL season. Man, oh man, the San Francisco 49ers took another tough L. They fall to the Minnesota Vikings 22-17. I do want to give them a little grace because it looks like Brock Purdy may have gotten a concussion midway through that game. He still played through, and there was a significant drop in his production from that play that they thought he had a concussion for the rest of the game. So I do want to give them a little grace, but nevertheless, they took another L. They took an L to a team without their best player, and Kirk Cousins was throwing to a rookie. Jordan Addison had a great game, 7 catches, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was giving Tre'Davious Ward that work on the outside. Kirk Cousins threw 45 pass attempts, man. This was one of the overs I hit this week. Shout out Prize Picks. Hit us up, Prize Picks, if you're trying to partner, man. The podcast is going up. But yes, Prize Picks, man. Kirk Cousins had about, 35 pass attempts? I had to hit the over on that. That was easy work, man. McCaffrey came back and decided to try to give it a go with after his oblique injury. He did score a touchdown, extended his touchdown streak to, I believe it was 16 games, 16 straight games. He scored a touchdown from scrimmage. So congratulations to McCaffrey, but he did not look healthy. He had no business being on that field. Yeah, the San Francisco 49ers, man, they're hitting injuries at the wrong time. Deebo Samuel's still out. George Kittle did play well, though, for them, man, but they have to right the ship. It looks like they will be starting Sam Darnold this week with Brock Purdy still in concussion protocol. We have to see within the next few days if he's going to get cleared, but they could be starting Sam Darnold this week. Who would have thought Sam Darnold would end up being the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers? And between you guys and myself, because it's just you and I today, it's looking like I might have been right about Brock Purdy being just a guy. That's the sad thing. It looks like I might have been right. So yeah, man, the 49ers fall to 5-2. The Minnesota Vikings go up to 3-4. And they're competing in that division because it's them and the Lions now. So we'll see how the NFC continues to shake out as the season progresses. Moving over to the big story out of week 7 from the AFC, it's none other than the Miami Dolphins, of course. The Miami Dolphins took essentially got dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles. This was a significant L that they took, man. 31-17. They fall to 5-1. I'm 5-2, excuse me. And the Philadelphia Eagles move up to 6-1. Jalen Hurts, 22 of 31, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, another 21 yards on the ground, and a score. DeAndre Swift had 62 yards on the ground. He's starting to come back down to earth a little bit from the ground wise because they're airing the ball out. 15 targets to A.J. Brown, 10 catches, 137 yards, and a score. Dallas Goedert has 77 yards on the score. Man, are the Dolphins that team that peaked too early on in the season? Tua, 23 of 32, 216 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He was sacked 3 times. Mostert had 45 rushing yards. Tyreek Hill did have his 11 catches, but only 88 yards and a score. They didn't have much production anywhere else on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, the Eagles had their way. The Eagles rushed for 99 yards, 355 yards of total offense. Eagles turned the ball over twice, were sacked 3 times. I don't know, bro. As the weather's changing, as the weather's starting to get colder, will this Miami offense be able to produce at the same level that they were early on in the season when it was warmer, earlier on in the season when they're playing in domes, things of that nature? I don't know. They are playing in a division with 3 teams that they're going to have to go to the cold if they have not already played in the cold. The New England Patriots, the New York Jets, the Buffalo Bills. They are going to have to play outside, playing tough weather. I don't know if that passing game is going to translate. I don't know. Did the Dolphins peak too early? We shall see. Staying on week 7 and going towards my winners of week 7, I would like to say that my winner of week 7 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers, man, Kenny Pickett is doing just enough to win. Can you blame this guy? He's doing just enough to win. 17 of 25, 230 yards through the air, a touchdown on the ground. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren are showing that they can be a two-headed monster in that backfield, combined for 20 rushing attempts, 85 yards, 2 scores out of them. They are hooping in that division. It's between them and the Ravens right now. I'm not believing in the Bengals. The Bengals are on their bye week. They're coming to play San Fran this upcoming week. So is San Fran going to let them come off their bye week and get their get back on them? I don't believe so. San Fran is reeling right now. San Fran's on a 2-game losing streak. They are going to look to try to come back, and it might be at the expense of a maybe not that great Cincinnati Bengals team in a division where they've already fallen to last in the division. So I want to give them their flowers. I also, like I mentioned, the Ravens. That is a good division, people. That AFC division is very good. The Baltimore Ravens went up against the Detroit Lions, one of the teams that a lot of people thought was the master class of the NFC, and they dominated them. The Baltimore Ravens beat the Detroit Lions 38-6. Lamar Jackson is looking like he might be, if not 1, 2 in the MVP. Probably, I'll say 2 because I have to give Patrick Mahomes his respect. I apologize. Lamar Jackson's looking like the biggest competition to this man, Patrick Mahomes, for the MVP. 21 of 27, 357 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, another 36 yards on the ground, and another score on the ground. Lamar Jackson's looking like he is a pocket passer. All of those things that we were saying that he could do or that we wanted to see him do, and he was saying that he could do, he is proving and showing that I can be a pocket passer. My arm can lead a team to the Super Bowl. My arm can lead a team to winning a division, to winning a playoff game, to doing these things. And I'm ready to see it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Lamar is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. I'm ready to see it. He has to be one of my winners this week, of course. Pivoting to my losers of the week. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. And this is kind of encapsulating week 7 and week 8 together. Week 7, they lost to the Falcons 16-13. You guys know I'm not big on Desmond Ridder, man. Desmond Ridder didn't have the greatest of games. He was pretty much trying to give the game to them. He fumbled 3 times. Come on, man. How else can I give you guys the game besides dropping the ball 3 times? Come on, let's do this. The Buccaneers still lost, man. Baker Mayfield's showing that maybe it was just a flash in the pan because he's come back down to earth. 27-42 against the Falcons, 275. He was sacked 3 times, fumbled, threw a pick. Then not only did they lose that week, but they lost against the Buffalo Bills this past day on Thursday Night Football. Baker Mayfield, another 40 passing attempt game. Sacked 3 times again. He threw 2 touchdown passes, 237 yards. Fumbled again, man. I don't know what to think about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. It was a point in the season when I was saying it looked like they could really win the division. And now 3-4. Are they going to look to start selling pieces at the deadline? Mike Evans, could he be on the block? Rashad White's a young running back they have. Are they going to maybe Baker Mayfield? Could he be on the block? Are they going to look to even keep playing him? Do they give Kyle Trask a chance? Like, what are they going to do? They have linebacker depth, Levante David, Devin White. Like, what are they going to do with all of these guys? They have an older team. The trade deadline is upon us. Are they going to look to move these guys? Another loser, and I want to just stick specifically on week 7 for this one. I laugh because on our previous platform, we focused on this guy a lot last year, a lot of the first year of this podcast, and we tried not to, but you just couldn't help but focusing on this guy with his name being so prevalent in the news with what he had going on and seeing what he did this past week or what he didn't do this past week and having a player come in relief and lead his team to victory, that's losering enough. Deshaun Watson, you're on the loser list for this week, man. 1 of 5 for 5 yards and an interception. You get hit. They bench you. PJ Walker comes in, leads this team to victory against the Indianapolis Colts team that's looking to compete for the playoffs. Deshaun Watson, $230 million. Come on, bro. What are you doing? This team has talent. If you were 75% of what we thought you were 80% of what you were with the Texans, an offense that features Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper, DPJ, Njoku, Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt. This offense should do something. PJ Walker's not a world beater by any means, but he has this offense metro booming. And not only are we talking about your offense, you guys have a top 10 defense in football. Myles Garrett is looking like the defensive player of the year this year. But yet and still, when you play, you look like you should be out of the league. You look like you should be on the sideline holding a clipboard. But when a guy like PJ Walker, who's essentially a journeyman, comes in and plays, he didn't look great, but he just didn't lose them the game. Deshaun Watson, you're on my loser list. If you don't look to give some of that money back, bro, it's going to be tough for you. Offensive players of the week. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I already mentioned this person. Lamar Jackson, stud. What else can I say? Stud. 21 of 27 throwing, 357 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, passing, 36 yards rushing, another rushing touchdown. He totaled 393 all-purpose yards, 4 touchdowns. What more needs to be said? This was essentially the best quarterback day of week 7. And, of course, I'm going to give Patrick Mahomes his flowers. Patrick Mahomes had a great week as well. Him and Travis Kelce, they combined just for such a great duo. It's just, when Taylor Swift's in the crowd, you know those two are going to cook, man. 32 of 42, 424 passing yards, 4 touchdowns through the air, another 29 yards on the ground. What can you say, bro? 4 separate guys caught touchdown passes. Pacheco caught a touchdown. Rashee Rice, who's been a sneaky good receiver for them this year. Valdez-Scantling caught a touchdown. Travis Kelce had his 12 catches, caught a touchdown pass. The Chiefs are just looking like it's going to be them in Baltimore in the AFC Championship game right now. They seem like the 2 most complete teams, and I'm here for it. Lamar versus Mahomes, I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it. Again, players of the week, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I mentioned this guy earlier because he needed to be mentioned. Defensive player of the week, none other than Myles Garrett, bro. None other than Myles Garrett. 9 total tackles, 2 sacks, a pass deflection, 2 forced fumbles. Again, bro, He's looking like the defensive player of the year this year. He's looking like the best defensive player in football, and I'm happy that we're able to see it. He's honestly the real reason why the Browns are 4-2 right now. He's the reason. His season has looked amazing. Like just hear me out, guys. I mean, 7.5 sacks already this season, 3 forced fumbles. It's only been 6 games that he's played. I mean, come on. What is his tackle totals? His tackle totals are 22 total tackles, 7.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, which is leading the league right now. 1 pass deflection. I mean, bro, he's looking like a monster, bro. He's looking like a monster. He's the reason they're 4-2, and I have to give him his flowers as my defensive player of the week. Pivoting now to the point of this episode that I couldn't wait to bring you all. Yes, you're going to see why in a second. You're going to see why in a second. I couldn't wait to bring you guys this portion because of my ties to, this sport. Well, you know what? Before I get to it, I'm not even going to get to it yet because I almost forgot. I got another topic I got to bring you guys. I got something that I got to bring you guys because, again, shout out to my brother Marcus, man. Shout out to my brother Marcus Jackson. Man, he told me I can't duck the smoke again. I've been trying to duck the smoke for too long, but I can't. Caleb Williams, what's going on, man? I'm trying to tell you, bro. He's 0-3 against the Utah Utes in his tenure as the USC Trojan starting quarterback. 24 of 34 for 256 passing yards. He was sacked 4 times. He did rush a touchdown, but man, their season's pretty much washed, bro. I don't think there's a way that they're going to be able to get into the college football playoff now. They do have the Cal Bears tomorrow. That should be a winnable game, but man, their season toughens up after that. They finished their year with a gauntlet of teams, man, a gauntlet of guys. They have the Washington. Oh, excuse me, everybody. That's my alarm going off in the background. They finished the season with the Washington Huskies, the 5th-ranked Washington Huskies, Michael Penix, the Oregon Ducks, and then they finished with UCLA. That's 3 ranked teams to finish their season. They're 6-2 right now. There's a world they could be looking at a 7-5 season, and Caleb Williams goes on to the NFL. I don't understand it, man. Caleb Williams is such a good player against non-ranked teams, but against these ranked teams, he just hasn't been what we thought he'd be. I'm not going to be one of those people to say that he's going to not be a good NFL player because I feel like that's crazy. But this does make me think, is there a world where he's not this generational talented player that everyone is saying? And I apologize for the lull in the episode because I was searching for this. I wanted to search this stat right here. This was a stat that they mentioned during the Utah game that I have to bring to you guys' attention. Versus non-top 25 teams and versus top 25 teams for Caleb Williams. 28 starts at USC. Against non-top 25 schools, he's played 23 of them. Completion percentage, 70%. 317 passing yards, 78 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. World beater numbers. Those are generational talent numbers against non-top 25 schools. Against 5. Well, this was prior to the Utah game before they factored in the Utah game numbers. So 6, essentially 6 ranked teams. 3-3. 50% completion percentage, 170 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's an awful college quarterback numbers against ranked schools. This makes me think, can he not elevate his talent? Is it something that is missing in terms of that? Is he just a super Dak Prescott? I mean, I don't consider a super Dak Prescott to be a bad player by any means. I think Dak Prescott's a really good player just as a normal quarterback. Let's get that out there. Dak Prescott as a regular player, very good NFL quarterback. But am I selling the ranch? Am I trading away a guy I might already have if I'm the Arizona Cardinals or if I'm the Chicago Bears? Am I trading away this guy to go and try to draft a Caleb Williams to change my team around? And I don't know if he can even compete against the Utah Utes. How many how many NFL players on that defense for the Utah Utes? I don't think it's many, bro. So it gives me pause. It gives me pause, bro. I've really been on Drake May this season. Pause. Pause. I've really been a fan of Drake May's game. I think Drake May will be a great NFL quarterback. They're comparing him to the likes of a Justin Herbert, of a Trevor Lawrence. He's in that mold of the 6'5", 6'6" pocket passer that can move. I want to see what team Drake May goes to. I would like to see a team like Tampa stay pat, keep competing, keep those weapons around, let Baker do his thing, and then try to maybe get a Drake May. I would like to see a Drake May go to a team like that. Maybe a Washington, the Commanders. Give Eric Bieniemy a Drake May and see what he does. But that's just throwing around some names, man. Shout out my brother Marcus, man. Yeah. Can't duck the smoke. Caleb, it didn't look pretty, bro. And you could be looking at a 7-5 season, and then now people are looking like, why are we taking this guy first when Drake May goes 10-2, Drake May goes 11-1, Michael Penix goes 10-2, Michael Penix goes 11-1 in the same conferences, in similar conferences. So, last but not least, before I pivot away from football and get to why you guys are really here, let's talk about my Week 8 predictions. Let's talk about the trade deadline. Week 8 predictions will be the trade deadline edition this week, and we're going to talk about NFL rumors, people to get moved. Carl Lawson is a guy that's been speculated to get moved from my New York Jets. We were talking about how my New York Jets have a tremendously deep pass rush. Carl Lawson was one of those guys. He did previously tear his Achilles when he initially signed with my New York Jets. And we ended up replacing him by finding other edge rushers, other guys that can play his positions. Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson. These are young guys that I like a lot, that I want to prioritize playing over a Carl Lawson. A Carl Lawson can help a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. I would like to see a team like that go and get an edge rusher because they could use more edge rushing help. Speaking of a team that's already looking to sell their veteran pieces already, Kevin Byard of the previous Tennessee Titans regime traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Philadelphia Eagles landed him for Terrell Edmonds, a 5th and a 6th round pick, man. Byard is a former All-Pro, first team All-Pro twice. Adding that to the DB room, it's definitely going to assist the Eagles, who need a little help on the back end. As we already know, my Jets traded McCole Hardman back to the Kansas City Chiefs. We were able to pick up a 7th round pick in that. We were able to give them a 7th round pick and pick up a 6th round pick in return from McCole Hardman. It made sense. He's used to what they have going on. It made complete sense. These are previous moves that we want to talk about. The Los Angeles Rams moved Van Jefferson to the Falcons. The Dolphins traded for Chase Claypool. The 49ers traded for Randy Gregory. The Patriots brought J.C. Jackson back. And the Vikings, of course, got Cam Akers. So those are previous moves that have happened in the NFL. We want to not only talk about those moves, but we want to give predictions because this is why we're here. Another guy that people are talking about moving that would be amazing to get on a lot of teams. Chase Young. The Washington Commanders did not pick up his 5th-year option. So it was speculated as soon as they did that they were going to look to move him. The Washington Commanders look to move Chase Young. He could be a chip that really shifts the power in the NFL. I would like to see a team like Dallas get him. Dallas has the pieces to move. I don't see Washington trading him in their division because they know if he goes on the other side of a Micah Parsons, that could be dangerous. I would like to see a team like maybe, even though Carolina has been a team that they're talking about to sell because Brian Burns is the guy I want to get to, I would like Chase Young to maybe go to a Carolina. Maybe a team like Atlanta can get a Chase Young. Teams need edge rushers, man. Teams need edge rushers so bad. Another guy that people are talking about moving that I can't even believe, can't even fathom. Another Tennessee Titan, Derrick Henry. King Henry is looking to get moved. It's a few teams I like for Derrick Henry. I want to talk about Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens. They don't have an elite running back. They do have a Justice Hill. They do have a Gus Edwards. But man, with J.K. Dobbins tearing his Achilles, another big blow for them in the backfield this season, Derrick Henry could come, and that read option with him and Lamar Jackson would be elite. That would instantly make the Baltimore Ravens have probably a top 2 offense in the AFC. I would love to see that. I would also love to see a Derrick Henry to a team like maybe the Patriots. Are the Patriots looking to try to compete this season? Bill Belichick, a guy that I probably should have highlighted for winners of the week. He just got his 300th career victory. Is he looking to make this season be a wash, or is he looking to get Mac Jones a lot of talent? Ezekiel Elliott has been a flop for them. Ramondre Stevenson's a good player. He needs help. He's better served as a complimentary guy. Derrick Henry could come in and change that offense. Another team that's been looking to get running back help is in that division, the Miami Dolphins. I would love to see Derrick Henry with Tua. That would make, even though that would hurt me fantasy-wise because I do have the Tyreek Hill Tua Tagovailoa stack in one of my leagues, Derrick Henry would change that offense completely. I don't know what it would take to get him. Probably a few draft picks, whatever they might have left from the previous trades they've made. They should consider doing that. He would help them tremendously in cold weather games. You can hand the ball to Derrick Henry 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 times a game. It would impact Mostert. Sure. It would impact Achane. Sure. But that offense would be so deadly. Look at that as a McCaffrey to the 49ers type move. They come from that tree. I think that would help them a lot. Last, but definitely not least, man, another team that can use a Derrick Henry. Because teams can use running backs, man. Let's talk about running backs. Another guy that's going to be on the market from my Jets, Dalvin Cook could be a guy to get moved, and all of these running backs kind of fit in these teams. I could see Derrick Henry going to a team like Dallas. I would feel like Dalvin Cook would be a little better fit because they do want to run with Tony Pollard. Dalvin can maybe spell him a little better. But if they want to go in for a guy, Derrick Henry can be that guy for Dallas. But I don't know if Jerry would look to make that move. Let's think of some other guys that are looking to get moved, man. It's a few guys. I want to look at this big board. I know the Commanders are just looking to sell everybody. The Panthers are looking to sell everybody. I think these teams don't need to. I truly don't. I think they need to stay pat. But a team and a guy that need to go their separate ways. I think the Broncos and Jerry Jeudy need to go their separate ways. I've said this on a previous episode. I think Jerry Jeudy would be a great fit for the Patriots. The Patriots need receiver help. Jerry Jeudy played with Mac Jones. They already have that connection. Reunite them. Again, it just determines what is Bill Belichick looking to do. Is Bill Belichick looking to compete? Is he looking to have the season be a wash and rebuild? Another team that I like, the Carolina Panthers, another team that they need to decide, are we looking to compete or are we looking to continue rebuilding? If they got a Jerry Jeudy, that could be a great guy for Bryce Young to throw the ball to, and Bryce Young could possibly look generational if he did that. Last but definitely not least, man, one more name that I want to highlight of guys that is possibly looking to get moved, man. Danielle Hunter from the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, it's just I keep mentioning these teams that are just in this limbo. And personally, I don't think they need to sell. I think you need to stay pat. You need to keep competing. The Vikings, the Panthers, the Falcons, these teams of that nature. The Rams are in that same limbo and they're choosing to stay and compete. But the Vikings are looking to move Daniel Hunter. Two teams that I think could really benefit from him. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They are looking well this year. They're looking to compete. They need more edge rushing help. Daniel Hunter could come in and easily help them. Another team, the San Francisco 49ers, as we're talking about, they're hitting injuries. They need help on that D line. Daniel Hunter's a great player. He could come in and help them tremendously. So those are just a couple of guys I wanted to mention. And a crazy prediction, because I know last year Henry predicted the McCaffrey to San Fran move, and of course it was just an amazing move. Like, yeah, that's great. That was such a great move, and it just fit perfectly. McCaffrey got traded there. He's been balling. I want to give you guys my perfect team, perfect fit, and get your opinion on it. See what you guys think. And it's going to be a team that's selling. It's going to be a team that it's already been mentioned that they're looking to possibly move on from guys. And again, I just want to get your opinion, just see what you guys think. And the player, the DeAndre Hopkins, receiver, Tennessee Titans. The team is the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Kansas City needs a wide receiver. I truly do. I won't be surprised if Kansas City makes a move for one of these receivers that's out here on the market, whether it's a Jerry Jeudy, whether it's a Cortland Sutton, whether it's a DeAndre Hopkins. Heck, I'm even seeing speculation that Juju Smith-Schuster might be on the block. Would they consider bringing Juju Smith-Schuster back to Kansas City? Who knows? They've already brought back McCole Hardman, but I don't think that's enough. They need another receiver that they feel confident in throwing the football to, and I think it's one of these guys that I've mentioned. A Juju Smith-Schuster would be perfect. He's not playing in New England. A DeAndre Hopkins would be perfect. He's the perfect X receiver for Patrick Mahomes to throw the ball to. Let Kelsey work in the slot. That'd be perfect. And Jerry Judy's more of a coin flip. You don't know what you'll be getting with him. Is he potentially that number one receiver, or is he another type of McCole Hardman type of they have already taken the chances on some of these guys. I don't know. They took a chance on Tony. Is he just another Tony? Who knows? I would rather get a guy that's more established, like a Sutton, like a D Hop. Heck, bring back Juju Smith-Schuster. So that's my prediction for you guys. Kansas City makes another move to help that wide receiver room. Last, definitely not least, you are going to see it down below. Yes, the NBA is back. Like, not back, but like back. Like, back. Like, yes. The NBA is returned, man. I am so happy to see the NBA back. Like, oh man, I am just loving what I've seen. I was able to see my Boston Celtics this week. I was able to see Kevin Durant twice. I was able to see LeBron play Yoke. Man, this has been a great week so far with in like just combination with the NFL and the NBA coming back. It's just been amazing. I want to run you guys through the welcome week of the NBA because I haven't got a chance to, and I know the channel has been missing the NBA. So let's get to it. Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors opened up opening night, and Devin Booker just looked like Devin Booker. Need I say more? 32 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. He was his efficient self, 37 minutes. Kevin Durant, 18 points, 10 boards. Man, they were missing Brad Beal, but it didn't matter because Steph Curry did his thing, essentially, was not the most efficient. But Chris Paul starting in place of Draymond Green. Klay Thompson didn't shoot the greatest. This Warrior team, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about them to start the season. From what I've seen, first two games, it could be tough sledding for them. It could be tough sledding for them. I know over the offseason was speculation that Damian Lillard considered a partnership with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and the Golden State Warriors before they got Chris Paul. I think that was a great mistake, and we're going to get to why I say that when we talk about the Milwaukee Bucks game, because the Warriors need another bucket, man. The Warriors need a guy that can get them 20 points a game on a given night to help Steph out, man, because Klay might not be that 20 point per game consistent guy anymore just because of injuries, just because of age. Wiggins is the glue guy. He's going to be what he is, but I just think they could have used a guy like a Brad Beal, used a guy like a Damian Lillard. If you were going to get a Chris Paul for the assets you gave up, why not get a significant upgrade at the guard spot instead of a guy that's we don't really know what we're going to get? Opening night, late night game, saw the Denver Nuggets play the Los Angeles Lakers, and this was a weird game for me, I'll be honest with you. Nikola Jokic came back and he didn't miss a beat. 36 minutes, triple-double, 29 points, 13 boards, 11 assists. He looked like he looked the best player in the NBA. LeBron only playing 30 minutes was kind of questioning for me. I know they're trying to bring him on slow. It's the beginning of the season, but they had a chance to win this game. I guess they're not worried about game 1, game 2, game 5, game 10. They're more worried about later on in the season. But it was just weird for me that Anthony Davis played so well in the first half and so bad in the second half. I know I had a couple prize picks bets on this game. Shout out prize picks. Prize picks, reach out to us, man. Let me know the followers I have to get something with y'all. Let me know. Regardless, Anthony Davis played well in the first half. Was looking aggressive, attacking Jokic, attacking whoever was guarding him. The second half, he just faded. I knew he wasn't going to hit his total of 12 boards. I went under. Austin Reeves, he's a glue guy. Taurean Prince really looked like their best player for stretches of this game with his shot making, with his two-way play. The Lakers are going to have to get this rotation under wraps, bro, because them going 12, 13 deep, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But it's game 1. Got to see how Darvin Ham's going to do his rotations, and we're going to continue from there. Wednesday, October 25th, saw pretty much everybody play. The Clippers looked good against the Trailblazers, man. I know it's just the Trailblazers and Scoot's first action. He didn't look the greatest. And honestly, no one on that Trailblazers team looked the greatest. But shout out Robert Williams. Shout out Robert Williams doing his thing. Brogdon had 20 off the bench. Shout out them former Celtics playing well, I guess. But, man, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard came back, played 33 or less minutes and did their thing. Russ looks like Russ. This team looks good, man. Bones Highland, they honestly might not even need James Harden. They really might not need James Harden. That Clippers team looks really good, man. Shout out to what they did. I was able to watch Wembanyama's first live NBA action. And, man, what better team or player for him to face than Luka and the Dallas Mavericks, man. Luka did his thing, 33, 13, and 10, had his triple-double, and Wembanyama played 23 minutes and put up 15-5 and had 2 assists. He looks good. He looks good. If he can stay out of foul trouble with the way they're playing him, they play him as a small forward. So, I mean, considering how they play him, he played the way I expected him to. I want to see him be more aggressive, and I want to see him stay out of foul trouble a little better. But I feel like once he gets used to playing the NBA game, that'll get better. And, yeah, sky's the limit for him, man. I said this to a couple of the guys off air, and I just want to say it on air. Victor Wembanyama has the potential to win Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year this season. My prediction for his stat line, I would say something around the numbers of like 15, 16, like 9, 15 and 9, 16 and 9, and about 2.5 blocks a game. I could see him being all defensive team player this season as a rookie while winning Rookie of the Year. Going through a couple of these middle games a little quicker. The Kings beat the Jazz 130 to 114. Shout out Harrison Barnes putting up 33 points. He's showing that he deserved that contract extension he got this offseason. Pelicans beat the Grizzlies 111 to 104. Herb Jones, CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson. I'm glad to see that he's playing, that he's healthy, man. I'm truly, truly grateful to see that he's back playing. The Thunder beat the Bulls 124 to 104. The Cavs beat the Nets 114 to 113. I want to stop on this Cavs Nets game real quick just to highlight Ben Simmons. I'm glad to see he played. 4 points, 10 boards, 9 assists, a block. It's a Ben Simmons stat line. Shout out to seeing Ben Simmons get back on the court, man. I'm looking to see what he can do this season. The Heat beat the Pistons 103-102. Raptors beat the Timberwolves 97 to 94. My Celtics beat the Knicks 108-104. This is another pit stop game that I want to stop and highlight. Man, oh man, Jason Tatum, 34 and 11, 13 of 22 shooting, 5 of 6 from the line, 2 of steals, a block. Man, him and Porzingis, they both played well, combining for 64 points. Porzingis had 30 and 8 himself, 4 blocks. Porzingis' move is looking like an amazing addition, an amazing fit. Jrue Holiday's doing what we need of him as well. He had 3 blocks as a point guard. Man, 9 and 4. I know he's going to get accustomed to playing his role and what we need of him, and it's going to work perfectly. The only fear, and again, this is something I said off air, man. I'll say it on air just because I feel like it needs to be said. My only fear is that Jaylen Brown will become my Celtics' 4th best player this year, and we're paying him $300 million. That's my only fear. He stays a top 3 player or top 2 player on the team, consistently doing what we need, 20 points a game, 25 and 4, giving good defense, cool. But if it stretches or long periods of the time when he's our 4th best player this season, that will cap our potential. Charlotte Hornets beat the Atlanta Falcons. I almost mixed 2 teams, 2 sports together. Charlotte Hornets beat the Atlanta Hawks 116 to 110. Orlando Magic beat the Houston Rockets 116 to 86. The Indiana Pacers put up 143 points on the Washington Wizards. Oh my goodness. I have to highlight this game real quick. I just wanted to look at the scoring. Oh my. I'm looking at some of these scoring totals, man. Halliburton had 20 and 11. Bruce Brown had 24. Bruce Brown looking like a first option. That's insane. I just wanted to highlight that game. So let's get on to yesterday's games. As the Lakers played the Suns yesterday as well, we got to see Kevin Durant versus LeBron James, and we have to highlight this game because we don't know how much longer we are going to get to see Kevin Durant versus LeBron James. The Lakers got the dub 100 to 95, but it wasn't for lack of trying of Kevin Durant, as Kevin Durant put up 39 points and 11 boards, 14 of 28 shooting from the field, 10 of 13 from the line, a block, a steal. He played well, but he was just without his guys, man. He didn't have Devin Book. He didn't have Bradley Beal, and that is the only reason why he wasn't able to get the job done. His second best player essentially yesterday was Eric Gordon on the Suns, and Eric Gordon. So, I mean, LeBron and AD combined for 51 points. LeBron had 21, 8, and 9. He flirted with the triple-double, 2 steals, 2 blocks. AD had 30 and 12, 3 blocks, 3 steals. This is the Anthony Davis that they need on a day-to-day basis. LeBron should not have to be the best player. This is the Anthony Davis they need. If the Lakers get this AD, they will be perfect. They shouldn't need Taurean Prince to put up the 18 points that he did last game. He had a goose egg. It did not matter. I just need to understand, and I need to know what they're going to do with this rotation, who are going to be the other guys to play, who are going to be the role players that kind of come above everybody else. Because is it going to be Jackson Hayes, Reddish, Hachimura, Wood, Vincent? That's five guys off of the bench, essentially. I don't know if they're going to play all of those guys. So what is going to be the closing lineup? You know it's going to be Anthony Davis. You know it's going to be LeBron James. Who are going to be the three guys that are going that night? Christian Wood was playing okay yesterday. I like him and Anthony Davis playing together. They have potential as that 4 and that 5 matchup offensively. Defensively, it could be an issue a little bit. It wasn't against the Suns because they're a smaller team, and Nurkic didn't harm them as much as Nurkic did previously against the Golden State Warriors. He didn't harm them as well. So I am just curious to see who will be those three guys to finish with them on a day-to-day basis. It's looking like D'Lo may be that third guy, but I'm just not 100% certain because D'Lo, Gabe Vincent, I guess it'll just depend on who's playing better that day between those two. But I do like the role players the Lakers have. The Lakers are a deep team. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Western Conference. The early game was the Eastern Conference game, and it was the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. I wanted to highlight this game because, like I mentioned about Damian Lillard and the Golden State Warriors' need for another scorer. The Milwaukee Bucks also saw a need for another guy that can go get 25 plus consistently this offseason. They saw that need and they went out and did it in getting Damian Lillard. And Damian Lillard showed that he is all that they wanted him to be. He didn't shoot well from the field. 9 of 20, 4 of 12 from 3, but he still got 39 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. He was able to get to the line, 17 for 17. Him and Giannis did what they needed to do. Essentially, no one else for this Milwaukee Bucks team played well. I mean, Chris Middleton played 16 minutes, had 6 points. Brook Lopez was their third best player, essentially. He finished with 13. Malik Beasley didn't play well, 31 minutes, had 5 points. I mean, he looked like he looked for the Lakers. Jay Crowder didn't look great. I mean, 3 or 4. He played 27 minutes. He looked okay as a role player. Bobby Portis played okay, but he only played 19 minutes. So it's like this was a Dame and Giannis game. And it's going to be a lot of times when there are these Dame and Giannis games where they have to win the game, just the two of them. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. They're going to have to make it a lot for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I loved what I saw from Dame and Giannis yesterday. I just wanted to highlight that. Philadelphia 76ers, man, they need James Harden. I didn't think they'd need James Harden as bad as they did, but they do. Are we going to depend on Maxey averaging 30 and 8 every game? I won't. Are we going to depend on Tobias Harris looking like Kevin Durant scoring 20 on 9 shots every night? I won't. Joel Embiid played bad. Let's just be what it is. Let's just say what it is. He played bad. He had 24, 7 to 6. On the surface, that stat line looks good, but when you start unpacking, he had 7 turnovers, 5 fouls. That's uncharacteristic of a Joel Embiid, who's an all-NBA player, all-defensive team player. He shot 9 of 21. 3 of 8 from the free throw line is uncharacteristic from a guy that shoots 85% from the line. So Kelly Oubre was their bright spot off the bench. He had 27 off the bench. He's looking like their wing player that they need. So congratulations to them finding that, but they need another creator on the perimeter. Tyrese Maxey's a good player. I think he'll have a tremendous season. He could be a fringe all-star now that they're going back to the East and the West. But with James Harden not being there, they need another guy that can go get them 20 and 10 consistently. They don't have that. I feel like Philly needs to go ahead, cut their losses, get what they can for James, just go on. With tonight's games, I want to highlight the 2 games that we are going to see on TV. A lot of teams are playing this evening, but the ones that we'll get to see are actually rematches from playoff series that were very, very, very interesting in the last few years. And it's starting off at 7:30 ESPN with my Celtics and the Heat. And I want to go ahead and give my prediction for this game. The Boston Celtics will dominate the Miami Heat. We have too much firepower, and I believe that this will be a Jaylen Brown game because I can see a world where Porzingis is guarded pretty closely by Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler is guarding Jason Tatum pretty heavily, pretty closely. There's going to be stretches of this game where Jaylen Brown is probably guarded by a Duncan Robinson, by a Caleb Martin, by a Tyler Hero. I expect Jaylen Brown to have a big game tonight. I really do. I expect him to have a big game. I expect Jrue Holiday to play pretty well as well. They're going to be guarded by Kyle Lowry and all of these guys. They're going to have mismatches. I expect those two to have a big game. The other game that we'll get to see on ESPN this afternoon, another rematch of a previous playoff series that was very interesting. The Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. We're getting to see this matchup. My prediction is that the Sacramento Kings are going to come out on top, man. Like I said, if Steph Curry doesn't put up 30, 35 every night, I don't like the Golden State Warriors' chances. It's to that point now. I feel like Golden State is going to have to make a move for one of these superstar guys that could possibly become available soon going on into the season. Little bug out there now. Look for a Karl Anthony Towns to Golden State, maybe some type of something like that. I think that's a seamless fit. They could work something out maybe if they look to move on from Draymond, something of that nature. Draymond fits good next to Gobert and that team. I don't know. Let's just look for something like that, though. Look for something like that, a guy like that. But I want to go with the Kings for that game as well. I just feel like they're better than the Golden State Warriors at this point. A couple of the other games that are happening tonight. Wemby's going back at it, man. He's getting to play the Houston Rockets. I can see Wemby having a big game, man, because this is his home opener. And so I feel like he will put on a good show for the fans. And I hope Pop really lets him play, man. Don't be pulling him out after every 5, 6, 7 minutes of playing. Let him get his leg under him, Pop, and let him play. He's going to do his thing. So, yes, that's where we're at now. And with the NBA coming back, you know you're going to see a lot more NBA content on these episodes. I really think I'm going to leave in an NBA segment every episode. Let me know what you guys think, man. And I love the NBA. We love the NBA here at the Dynastyers, so we had to come and give y'all our opinions on the early stuff of the NBA and the NFL. So going forward, I want to go ahead and finish this episode like I know how. Any other way would be crazy of me because this is typically how we finish on these platforms. So words of wisdom, man. I want to just say prayer is power. Prayer is power, man. For those of you guys that know, your boy's in the working world, man. Your boy's out here doing his thing, trying to make this adult life shake. But my job, it was speculation that we would possibly have layoffs. And it was speculation over the last couple of weeks that we just didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know. We were just kind of left in limbo, man. And when I heard about it, man, when I found out about it, all I could do is pray. All I could really do is pray. Just say, God, let your will be done and just put in work. Because, faith without works is dead. And so me praying, asking God to bless me, asking God to work the situation out was my faith. My putting in work was looking for other jobs, man. I found out a few days ago, actually yesterday, we're good. We're not getting laid off. And so that's a blessing, man. I just want to say that prayer is power, man. And please put in work if you're going to pray. If you're going to pray, don't stress. If you're going to stress, don't pray. Because faith without works is dead, but you got to work and you got to believe that God is going to bless you and God is going to answer those prayers. So I really just wanted to say that, man, and just say thank God for all the blessings that he's given me. He's given my family. He's given all of us here at the Dynastyers. And, man, this has been another tremendous episode of the Dynastyers podcast. I am your host of this episode, Darius Capers. I'm so glad I could come and talk with you guys today. Let's call this a Capes Corners episode, man. Again, as you see below, shout out to our partner at the Capers Cares Foundation. Give them a follow on Instagram at the Capers Cares Foundation. Give me a follow at Darius Capers on Instagram. Give me a follow on Twitch at Kung Fu Cape TTV. Give us a follow on Instagram at the Dynastyers Podcast. Give us a sub on YouTube. This where this episode will be going on YouTube. Give us a sub at the Dynastyers podcast. We're going up, man. We got some big things in the works. So please, please, please be on the lookout, okay? You don't want to miss it. Please follow and sub at these places because we are going to give out information soon. Very, very soon. Till next time, it's your boy. Peace.